Hi, welcome to Yoga Download. My name is Kylie. Today I'm going to be guiding you through a 45-minute Chi Yoga beginners class. We're going to go through some basic postures, strengthening our foundation, making sure that we're building everything from the ground up. So thank you very much for coming. Let's get started. So we're going to come into a nice, comfortable seated position. It's called Sukhasana or easy pose. Draw the flesh away from your sits bones. So if you're newer to yoga, you may have never heard the term sits bones before. It's just two bony points at the base of your spine. Now press them firmly down into the mat, and as you press down, you're going to notice your chest rising. The spine's going to lengthen just a little bit more. Chest rises, the crown lifts higher, the collarbones are spread. We'll start with our hands on our knees. Allow your eyes to gently close, and we'll take just a few moments here. A few moments to connect with our breath, to let go of outside distractions, to find our focus for today's class. So I personally like to set an intention for each yoga class. An intention is the meaning behind or the reason for your practice. If you have your own intention, feel free to set that now. Otherwise, I invite you to be open. Set the intention of being open to new possibilities, of trying new things. Even if you're not a beginner, approach today's practice as a beginner, trying something for the very first time. Finding just a few more breaths. Now, as you're ready, please gently open up your eyes and let's come forward into a tabletop position. So we come to all fours, stacking our shoulders above our wrists and our hips above our knees. Your feet can either be flat to the mat or toes curled under. We want to firmly root down through the hands, and I say the hand, not the wrist. So the weight is forward in the finger pads and in the knuckles where the fingers attach. Root down firmly through the front part of the hands, hug the muscles into the bones, and fill up your back body, meaning let your back be full. Don't let the belly sag. The rib cage expands on the backside. With your inhale, we come into a cow. The hips tilt up, the gaze goes up, the belly goes down. As you exhale, now round through your back. Take the chin towards your chest. Hollow out the belly here. Inhaling, come back into your cow, heart forward, hips up, gaze up. Exhale, rounding, create your cat. Feel this movement through the spine. 2 more rounds, inhaling, cow. Exhale, rounding into cat. Last one, inhale, cow. And exhale, rounding into cat. Return to your neutral spine. Your gaze is slightly forward in front of your mat. And we'll extend our right arm forward, palm facing in, thumb facing up, and our left leg back behind us. So I'm going to take a look over here at Tara. As much as she's reaching out, she's also pulling in, and that's going to help you balance. Straighten the back leg just a little bit more. Yes, firming the quadricep, pressing through that back heel. Looks wonderful. Now, one last adjustment here. Draw the right hip crease back. That's going to lengthen the right side body. Beautiful work. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, let's meet back in our tabletop. Second side. Left arm forward and right leg back. So here we're tapping into our core strength. We actually really do use our core throughout every single yoga posture here. It's not like a targeted crunch, but you use the core to support you throughout each pose. Now the right arm is strong. Try not to lock the elbow. Good work. Reach a little bit longer. Straighten the back leg. Left hip crease pulls back this time. Stay just a little bit longer. Take an inhale, stretch, reach, lengthen. Exhale, release, tabletop. Now make sure your hands are still shoulder width distance, maybe a little bit wider. In fact, take your pinky fingers to the outer edge of your mat. There you go. Now walk your knees about 3 inches back. Curl the toes if they're not already. Lift your hips up and back into a downward facing dog. So here, we're stretching through the arms. We're stretching through the side bodies. We're stretching through the legs. Focus on pressing the weight into the index finger and thumb knuckles. That way, the weight of your hands, the weight of your body rotates in. Then your triceps are going to spin down towards the mat. So you're balancing out forces here, in and out. Back of the neck is long with the ears by the biceps. The spine grows long. The back is full. Beautiful. Hug the front ribs in, making sure the belly's not swaying like a hammock. Keep tilting the hips up and back, and as the hips go up, the heels press down. That is so nice. Stay here for about 2 more breaths. Nice work. Now, from your downward facing dog, let's take an inhale breath together. As you exhale, walk, step, or jump to the top of your mat. Have your feet hip-width distance apart. With an inhale breath, take your hands to your shins and lift halfway up. So notice here, the back isn't round. The back isn't collapsing. The back is full. The body is full of intention. Exhale, release back down into forward fold or uttanasana. Let's do that 2 more times. Halfway lift as you inhale. Hands to shins, lengthen out of the waist. Then exhale, release. Forward fold. So slowly, smoothly, we're getting deeper and deeper. Last one here. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Forward fold. Let's stay here for just a moment. So all of your friends are going to say, I can't do yoga because I can't touch my toes. That's okay. You don't have to be able to touch your toes. If you can't reach the ground here, you can keep your hands on your shins. If you have a block at home, you could take your hands on the block and bring the ground up to you. Whatever position you've chosen, keep rolling the weight forward into the balls of the toes. Try pressing more firmly down into the feet so that your hips lift higher. Feel that sensation as we breathe here. One last cycle of breath. As you inhale, reverse swan dive. The arms sweep around and up. Arms reach up and overhead, biceps by the ears. With your exhale, come right back down, hands through the heart center. Lead with the heart as you fold back over the legs. Inhale to halfway lift. Heart forward, hips back. You've been here before. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, high plank. So chances are you've done a plank before, maybe in some other fitness class. Your whole body is working here. The hands are strong, the arms hug in. Try not to let the hips sink here. You see a lot of that. The hips are light and the back stays full. You're going to energetically pull your hands back so that the heart pulls forward. They don't actually move. It's just a sensation. Now keep pressing the heels back. Take 1 more inhale. And then slowly with your exhale, lower all the way down to the belly. You can always use your knees to support this movement, lowering all the way down. Once you're down, point the toes back, press the feet down. We're going to inhale into cobra, so the chin, the chest, the shoulders lift up. There's a little bit of pressure in the hands, and we don't just lift up, we lift forward and up. Gorgeous. Inhale. Exhale, release the chest, the shoulders, the chin back down. Curl the toes under, pull the belly in, place the shoulders on the back. For this first one, I'm going to invite all of us to use our knees. So inhale, press up into a plank on your knees. Straighten your legs to press the heels back. Now send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. So as we start to move, you can use the knees or not. It's totally up to you. Take an inhale breath. To the top, exhale, step or jump. As you inhale, lift halfway, hands to shins. And then exhale, return to a forward fold. Just like before, inhale, reverse swan dive, arms sweep and reach around and up. Exhale, hands down through your heart center, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, high plank. Use the knees if you wish. Lower all the way down to the belly. Elbows stay in tight. Point the toes back. Inhale, peel forward and up, cobra. Exhale, we lower down with control, with intention. Curl the toes, use the knees if you want. Inhale, press right up into your plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're gonna do one more of those. It's called the Sun Salutation. It's designed to build heat in the body. Take one more inhale breath. As you exhale, step or jump to the top of your mat. Lift halfway on the inhale, back is full, remember? And then exhale, forward fold. Weight is in the balls of the toes. Inhale, Tadasana. Sweep around, reach high. Exhale, fold forward like it's the most important thing you're going to do all day long. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant, step back, high plank. On your knees or on your toes, lower all the way down to the belly. Point the toes back, inhale, our last cobra here. Exhale, the chest is going to lower. Curl the toes, belly in. Use your knees or not. Inhale, push to plank. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Great work. So now the body's nice and warm. We've moved through the spine. We're going to continue to build a little more heat through the lower body. Take an inhale here. To the top of your mat, exhale, step or jump. Again, we always start with the halfway lift. We do this to lengthen and neutralize through the spine. And then exhale back to a forward fold. But this time, please bring your feet together with just a little bit of space between your heels. Think golf ball size. Now with your feet together, sit your hips back and down. Then lift your arms forward and up as we come into chair, Utkatasana. Excellent job. So now here, I've been saying weight in the balls of the toes a lot. Now we shift the weight a little more back into the heels. The toes still stay connected, however. That is so great, Tara. The arms are reaching up as the hips are sinking down. You find this balance through the opposition. You feel the fire, the heat building in the legs. Take one more inhale. We'll give that lower back some relief. Exhale into airplane arms. The belly's gonna hover right above the thighs. So try not to have the chest too low. It's just a little lifted right above the hips. And here you can focus on toning the back of the arms. Squeeze the pinky fingers a little bit tighter. Great job. Keep the hips where they are. Inhale, arms lift back up into chair, Utkatasana. As you exhale, fold forward. Press through the feet to straighten the legs, and then release all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, please plant your hands, step back, high plank. Now this time, we're gonna come into our first chaturanga. It's very similar to a tricep push-up. You're going to lower just halfway down. Tara's gonna demonstrate how you would do this on your knees. So you start in your plank position and the form follows you. Shift forward slightly on the toes so your shoulders move forward of your fingertips. Now on your knees or on your toes, lower halfway down and pause. Here's the deal. You don't want your shoulders to go below your elbows. You don't want your hips to sink below your shoulders. Everything is nice and long and full. Now inhale to upward dog. Tops of the feet turn to the mat. Hands pressed down. Shoulders rolling back. Chest lifting. So it's different than a cobra because there's more of a back bend going on. It's taking more upper body strength. Tailbone lengthens back towards the heels. One more inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Scoop the belly in, curl the toes under, and draw your hips up and back. Settle back into your downward facing dog, finding more length and more space. So exploring some different poses now. From your right inner thigh, mindfully inhale, reach your right leg into the air. Reach it way up, press through the heel, plug the femur in. Let your left heel melt deeper and draw your left hip back. Take an inhale. Exhale, big step through to lunge. Pull the belly in and place the right foot at the top of your mat. Now, if it didn't make it all the way the first time, help it forward, right? No problem there. Knee ends up over the ankle. Back leg is straight and strong. Your hips keep having this action of going forward and down. Now, hips continue to move forward and down. Our arms reach forward and up. Crescent lunge. So lots of strength in your front leg. The right knee keeps lunging forward as your right hip pulls back. Your back foot is very engaged and active. The heel is almost like straight up and down with the balls of the toes. So the foot's perpendicular to your mat here. That looks great. Take one more inhale. On your exhale breath, open wide for a warrior two. The hips spin open. Right knee opens wide. And there's still so much work going on in this right leg. So we don't need to complicate things with crazy postures to get a great workout, to get a great stretch in our yoga practice. Remain as you are in the lower body for your warrior two. And as you inhale, reverse warrior. The right arm reaches and stretches up and back. Nice. So this is so great because she's keeping all this length on the right side and creating length, but without sacrificing length on the left. You don't just want to crunch into the left side body. You keep lifting up and keep lifting out. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, release to a plank. Plant your hands, step back into high plank. Like we did just a moment ago, on your knees or on your toes, lower halfway down to chaturanga, and pause. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Not locking elbows, just toning the biceps. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Scooping in, drawing back. Let's do that on the left side. Inhale. Our left leg lifts and reaches up and back. Hold it there for a moment. Feel the stretch. Let the right heel melt deeper. And then pull your right hip crease back. One more inhale. Exhale, big step through to your lunge. Curl in, step through. Help the foot forward as needed and feel that great stretch through your right hip flexor. Now, knee is over the ankle. The toes are forward on the left leg. Right leg is straight and strong. Hips continue to move forward and down. The forward part is important because it gives us room to melt. Now, inhale, arms up, crescent lunge. Arms reach up. Biceps by the ears. Use your hips to square the body. So the left hip pulls back. Right foot active again, perpendicular to the mat. Chest keeps breathing up. Crown is high. Lunge into that front leg. Take an inhale. We want to feel it, right? Exhale, open, warrior two. Hips open up. We get a little bit of relief for a moment out of that left quadricep. Gently tuck the left sits bone under. So as the hip gently tucks under, the knee opens wider. The back leg continues to be firm and strong. Draw the belly in and up. Open your left knee towards left pinky toe. And with your inhale, reverse warrior. Left arm stretches up and back. So here's a common mistake. A lot of times people make this a back bend. They square their shoulders to the ceiling and reach back from there. Square your shoulders to the side of your room or to the side of your mat. Then reach back. Now lunge deeper. Inhale, left arm stretches back. Exhale, release to plank. Hands plant. Step back. Lower, halfway down, chaturanga. Modify with the knees if that suits you. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, so we start off by building the poses from the ground up, and then we link them together with our breath, finding that vinyasa flow, finding our moving meditation. With our breath, inhale, right leg lifts high. Exhale, step through, lunge. On your inhale breath, crescent lunge, arms lifting forward and up. Exhale, open into warrior two. Inhale, right arm reaches up and back. Remember, side body stretch. Exhale, release to chaturanga. Hands plant. Step back. Lower, using the knees if that's best. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling, our left leg lifts. Move it through mud. Exhale to lunge. Really draw in to step. Inhale, crescent lunge. Back leg straight and strong. Exhale to warrior two. Open up. Hands press down and they stop at shoulder level. Inhale, reverse warrior. Reach up and back. Exhale, release to chaturanga. Now, if your shoulders have really had it with that chaturanga, you can always take that out and simply go back into downward dog. If you're flowing, follow your breath through upward dog, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full round of breath here, and then we'll do that flow one more time. Repetition produces results. We want to make muscle memory in our body. Inhale, right leg lifts. Get lost in the movement. Exhale, lunge. Step through. Inhale, crescent lunge. Arms reaching high. Exhale, open wide, warrior two. Excellent, Tara. Inhale, reverse warrior. Reach up and back. Exhale, release. Chaturanga or downward dog, remember. Lower down halfway. Find the pause at the bottom. Inhale, upward dog. Find the pause at the top. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last time through. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Now your body just knows where to go. Exhale, open, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, release, chaturanga, on your knees, on your toes, or going to downward dog. Find the pause in between each posture. We meet in downward facing dog. So turning back to our lower body now. Take one more full cycle of breath. Check in with the hands. Are you rooting through the knuckles of index finger and thumb? Are the triceps spinning down? Find an inhale here. Exhale to the top of your mat. Let's step or jump. Inhale, halfway lift. We haven't been here in a while. Really open that back body. And then exhale, forward fold. So now that you're warmer, can you go deeper? Always check in. We're always conscious and mindful of the movements that we're doing. Draw your feet together. Little bit of space between the heels. Again, golf ball size. Inhale into chair. Hips go back and down. Arms reach forward and up into Utkatasana. We're going to find our first bit of balance in today's class. So, inhale, lift the chest higher, try and sit the hips deeper. As you exhale, airplane arms. So the belly draws towards the thigh, arms reach back, palms facing down. Start to shift the weight into your right foot. We're going to extend our left leg back behind us for airplane with a bent knee. So you've got a soft bend in your right leg. The back leg is reaching out behind you. Lower back stays full. It's most helpful to find one steady focal point. Something you can use, it's called your dristi, to help you keep your balance and your focus. Excellent. Hold for 3. For 2. On 1, the left foot meets the right. We're back in the chair with airplane arms. Shift the weight now into the left foot. Start to lift your right toes and foot off the mat. Extend the right leg back. Left leg still has that soft bend. Hips squared, shoulders squared, back full. Nice job. And if your balance isn't there today, don't sweat it. You can always take your back toes down, have a little kickstand. Balance is something we have to work on, just like we have to work on flexibility, just like we have to work on strength. Return your right foot to meet the left. Chair with airplane arms. As you inhale, let's stand all the way up. Tadasana, give the legs, the lower back a break. Exhale, fold forward. Release through the lower back. Nice job, you guys. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, high plank. This time, we're gonna lower back all the way down to the belly. So just like you would for chaturanga, lower all the way down, elbows in tight, until everything comes down to the mat. Point your toes back behind you, and then reach your arms back by your sides, palms facing down. Great. So when we talk about core, everyone gets really obsessed with the front portion of our core. Well, the core wraps all the way around, and we can't just have strong in the front. We need strong in the back. We have to have balance in our bodies. So we're going to work on that balance now with a pose called locust pose, savasana. Legs are long, arms long by your sides. Now with your next inhale, lift everything up. Chest, legs, arms, and hands. Nice. So as you're lifting, you're also lengthening. The chest and crown are reaching forward. The toes are reaching back. This is so great. There's a little space between the legs, but they're not going out to the edges of your mat. Good, hold it here for 3. Final 2, and on 1, gently release. Take your left cheek to the mat as you look over to the right. Always coming back to your breath. So really the breath is the most important thing. As long as you're breathing, you're practicing yoga. Nice. So we'll do one more set of that. I'll add in an option. You can take it or leave it. So return your chin back to, or in head to a neutral position. Toes point back as they are. Now sweep your hands behind the back and interlace your fingers. Excellent. Now, if your shoulders are so tight that your hands don't reach, do another set with arms by your side. Otherwise, you'll be just like Tara. Now, collarbones spread wide. Excellent. So your chest already has a little bit of a lift. Now inhale, find that locust with chest expansion. Chest lifts up, legs lift up, and your knuckles reach to the back of your mat. This is beautiful. Now, when we do a pose like this, it's challenging. Sometimes we make funny faces. We scrunch up our face, we clench our jaw. Relax it here. This is beautiful. Take 2 more cycles of breath. Strengthening the back side of the body. And as you're ready, gently exhale, release. Arms rest by your sides, right cheek to the mat as you glance over to the left. Great job. So let's start to add on to our sequence here. Go ahead and return your hands back underneath your shoulders. Curl the toes under behind you. Press up into all fours. Find a tabletop. Then curl the toes under behind you. Let's lift up and back, downward, facing dog. So this is going to look familiar, and that's a good thing. We're going to know where we're headed. Inhale, right leg lifts up to the sky. Exhale, step through to lunge. As you inhale, let's reach back up into crescent lunge. Because when we're new at something, we want to keep repeating it and doing it over and over. As you exhale, open, warrior 2, hips spin open, hands press down. Inhale to reverse warrior, right arm reaches up and back. Now here's where we're going to add on. Keep your body the same from the waist up. Push into the big toe mound of your right foot to straighten the right leg. Now the lower body stays the same. Start to reach your right arm forward, working our way into Trikonasana triangle pose. Make your right side body as long as you can. Reach as far forward as you can and pull your right hip crease as far back as you can. Lower your right hand to your shin and then take your left arm to the ceiling. Now, if you can reach farther down on the leg than the shin, good for you. I find this is a really nice place to start. There's a gentle twist going on here. Excellent. So the left rib cage is rotating back, the right rib cage is rotating forward, the front ribs are pulling in. So wonderful. The thing that sometimes happens here is sometimes our front leg locks out. We don't want to lock out or hyperextend here. We do draw the quadricep up, but as we're drawing the quadricep up, we keep rooting forward and down into the right big toe mound. Excellent. There's little to no weight on that bottom hand, so you really are working, once again, the entire core body here. Stay here for 2 more breaths. You're hugging the heels in. You're hugging into your midline. That's where all of our strength is, all of our power. Now from here, lower body stays the same. We're going to work our way into reverse triangle. Inhale. Right arm reaches up and back, just like we do in our reverse warrior. Left hand goes to the back of the left leg. Stretch. Exhale, release all the way down to your plank. Hand, foot, step back. Find your plank, pause. Lower halfway down into chaturanga. Inhale for upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale for downward facing dog. Second side. Inhaling, our left leg floats up and back. So you've been here several times. Can you lift it higher? Exhale to lunge, stepping through and placing the foot down. Inhale, crescent lunge. Arms lift up and reach high. Exhale, open into warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Start the lengthening of the left side here. Now keep the length as we start to straighten our left leg by pushing into the mound of the big toe. Keep the length on the leg now as you reach the left arm to the front edge of your mat. As the arm goes forward, the hip crease pulls back. First create the length, then left hand to your shin or your block, right arm reaches up to the sky. So sometimes we just take this right arm back behind us, but that's not really what we want to do. Act as though you're pushing your right hand into an imaginary wall. And as you push your hand into the wall, the armpit starts to roll back. Nice. Again, strong through your left leg without locking it out. So beautiful. Our arches are lifting, so we're strengthening our feet, our foundation. The length remains on the left side body. And you keep that gentle rotation through your trunk. Take 2 more breaths here. Directing the tailbone towards the back heel. Now the lower body remains. Inhale to reverse triangle. Use the strength of your right side to reach up and back with your left hand. Stretch. As you exhale, release to chaturanga. Plant your hands on either side of this front foot. Step back. Lower halfway down on your knees or on your toes. Inhale into upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale into downward facing dog. Good work. So now we've found more length through our side bodies, more strength through our core body. Let's return back to some balance here. Take an inhale breath. As you exhale, step or jump to the top of your mats. With an inhale breath, lift halfway up, lengthen the chest from the thighs. And then exhale, release. Find your forward fold. Good work on an inhale breath. Reverse swan dive. Arms reach around and up. Come all the way up and overhead. And as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. So now we're going to come into tree pose. Shift the weight into your right foot. You're going to place the sole of your left foot either at your right ankle, your right calf, or high up on the right inner thigh. The only place that you cannot and should not go is at your knee, because we don't want the pressure of our left foot pushing into our right knee. So find the placement of your left foot wherever you desire, wherever you can balance. Hands stay at your heart to begin. Left knee opens wide, right hip pulls back. Lifting up and out of the waist. Again, one steady focal point. Stay here or reach your arms up and overhead. Feel the foot, I should say, wobbling around perhaps. That's getting stronger. Good. Final 4. Last 3. 2. If your arms are overhead, return hands to heart center, and then gently release back to both feet. Good job. Second side. Shift the weight to your left foot. The right foot goes to your left ankle, your left calf, or high up on the left inner thigh. Again, whatever suits you today. Keeping in mind that your balance, if you did this class tomorrow, could be totally different. Balance has a lot to do with what's going on in your day, where your mind is today, and as I mentioned earlier, it's something we have to work on, just like our strength. Now, keep your hands at your heart or extend the arms overhead. If you're really up for a balance challenge, you can always try closing your eyes. That's a whole other world. Stay with it just a little bit longer. Final 5. Last 4. Final 3, 2, and 1. Release your hands back to your heart and slowly release as you unwind. Nice job, you guys. Let's get one little flow left. Inhale, arms reach around and up. Tadasana. Exhale, hands down through your heart. Forward fold. As you inhale, please lift halfway. And as you exhale, plant your palm, step, or jump back into chaturanga, pausing at the bottom. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. As you inhale, float your right leg high. On an exhale breath, we're going to work our way into pigeon. So take your right knee to the outside of the right wrist. Your left leg is going to be straight behind you. Your toes point back. Now start to walk your hands back to your body, either in front of you or out to the sides of your mat. Start to hug in here. So you're going to hug the inner thighs in. If you don't hug in, chances are you're going to roll to this right hip. And that's not really what we're after. We're not going to find a stretch there. As you're hugging in, start to walk yourself down. Now, those of us with really tight hips, we might stay up here. Otherwise, come a little farther down. Come down to your forearms. And if you're really feeling it today, you can lower all the way down, resting your forehead on your mat or your hands. Now, as mentioned, you want to keep your hips square to the earth. If all of your weight just rolled over to the right side, reevaluate. Come back to center. Great job. Stay here for a few relaxing breaths. Letting go of tension, letting go of stress. Now, if this pose bothers your knee, I'm going to show you a variation on our opposite side. But stay here just a little while longer. Let's bring our hands underneath our shoulders. Curl the left toes under. Feel your left knee engage and lift up. Step back into downward facing dog. So you may need to wiggle out a little bit here. You probably notice a difference between your left and right hip. That means it's working, right? That's a great thing. Let's even it all out on our left side. Inhale. Left leg lifts up into the air. Exhale, prepare for your pigeon. Left knee sweeps towards or outside of the left wrist. Top of your right foot comes to the mat, and your hands walk back toward you so you can hug in toward you or out to the outer edges of your mat. Lifting the crown up, hugging in, and then start to surrender into your pigeon. And surrender as deep as you can go, all the while keeping the form. Again, if you roll over into this left hip, there's no stretch going on here, right? We want the effective stretch. Now, as mentioned, modification. For those of you that this does not work for you, this pose, I'm going to have you sit on your mat. You'll cross your left leg over your right knee. Make sure that your foot is flexed. It's the same stretch, but without such a big bend in the right knee, without tweaking it too much. You can focus on lifting your heart up high. If you need even more room, if you're really tight, walk your bottom foot away from the body. If you have a little more flexibility, you'll draw the bottom foot closer into you. So there's always a way to make your yoga practice work for you, right? We have to get rid of these excuses and just do it. Give yourself 2 more breaths, whatever variation you've chosen. Excellent. And then wherever you are, let's work our way into our last downward facing dog. So our hands come to the top of our mat. Curl your back toes under if you were in Pigeon. Feel the back knee lifting. Step back, downward facing dog. Hips extend, heels press down. It's your deepest and strongest downward facing dog of the day. Take an inhale breath. And as you exhale, walk through to a seated position in the center of your mat. Extend your legs out in front of you. So, now the really good stuff. Let's start to lay back onto our mats and move mindfully. I like to try and move a vertebrae at a time. And once your shoulders and your head meet the mat, let's hug the right knee into the body. Interlace your fingers on top of the shin for a moment and draw toward the head. Let your left hip flexor get long and stretch out. Perfect. Now, with your left hand, guide the right knee across the body for a twist. Your right arm can go out to the side in a T or a goalpost position. You only want to twist as deep as you can keep the right shoulder on the mat. So if you get this right knee all the way over, but your right shoulder peeled off your mat, back off a bit. Right? Let your body get there in time. So twists are great to cleanse the body. They aid in our digestion, help us massage our internal organs, help us to keep a healthy spine. With your next inhale, let's come back to center. Switch the legs out. Right leg goes long, left knee hugs in, shins on, hands interlace on top of the shin. Pull the left leg in nice and tight. Let your right leg grow long. And then when you're ready, the right hand is now going to take the left knee across the body. Left arm out to the side in a T or a goalpost. Gaze can be up or out to the left. Beautiful. Mindful that our left shoulder is still connected to the earth. And making sure that the breath is still full. With your next inhale, let's unwind. As you exhale, bring the right knee in to meet the left. This time we're going to wrap our forearms around the shins and curl into a tight, tiny ball. Squeeze just as tight as you can. And then slowly release all the way down, finding our final pose, Shavasana. So in Shavasana, allow your feet to just relax and fall open. Allow your arms to rest by your sides, palms to the sky. Let your jaw relax. Your eyelids just rest over your eyes. Your forehead relaxes. And the breath, it's no longer manipulated at all. It's natural. You're going to feel the belly rising and falling. Nicely done. So please stay in Shavasana as long as you can, allowing all the benefits of your yoga practice to work their way through your body and through your mind. Remember that this is the most important posture that we do in our yoga practice. It's the one that we need the most. So again, please stay in it as long as you can. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.